Hi everyone, back with another video here about for higher graphic communication. This time what we're going to focus on is the Helix command and how to create a Helix. Pretty straightforward, as something that shows up in exams year on year, and once you know how to do one, it's pretty straightforward to do any other one. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first thing, start 2D sketch and select my plane. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create like a kind of coil, like a spring kind of shape. Okay, so there's two things we need. The first thing we need is we need a centre axis, and the second thing we need is the profile. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw our centre axis, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select line, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to change this to a centre line, and I'm just going to draw this straight down the middle here, and you'll see there that it is a centre line. Once you've done that though, you need to then change it back because it automatically stays on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, springs, coils, etc. tend to have a circular profile, so I'm going to select circle, and I'm going to draw a circle just on this line here, just so that it's still snapping on. I'm not going to make it very big, I'm going to make it 5mm. Okay. Now, before we can do anything else, what we need to do is we need to define the distance between the centre axis and our profile. So what I'm going to do is select that, and select this. Because we've got the centre line selected, it will give us the diameter, so if you just imagine half of that, so if we select that, so if I want this to be 40 away from there, I would select, 20 away from there, I would change it to 40, like that there. So, got my profile, change that round, got my profile, and I've now got my centre axis. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a helix, okay? And what we do is we use the command up here, it's called coil. Now, when you're answering questions, you need to use the term helix. If you use the term coil, you won't get the marks, but for the purpose of this and using Inventor, it's the coil command. So we select the coil command, it should automatically select your profile that you've already got selected. If it doesn't, just simply select it and click on it until it's got that kind of blue filter there. What you're then going to do is select the axis, and this time our axis is our centre line that's here. By default, for some reason, it seems to go down the way. You can just simply change that to go up the way. Alright. The interesting thing now is this is where it gets a wee bit more different. Okay, we have to now define what's called the pitch, and then we can define either the number of revolutions or the height of it. Okay, I'm just going to explain to you what the pitch is. So if I change this, so let's leave it as pitch and height just now. So if I make this height here, let's make it 50. So you can see there that it kind of disappears a wee bit. Okay, that's because Inventor's quite smart when it comes to this. If you try to do something it doesn't let you do it. So let's leave the pitch just now at 1 and change the height of the entire thing to 50. You can see there, so the pitch is the distance between each revolution, so the distance in between each of these here. Now if I try and click OK here, what's going to happen is Inventor's going to say that it can't happen because there's not enough of a gap in here to create this helix. So what I'm going to go back and do now is change that. So let's change the pitch. So let's first change the pitch. So we're going to change, like I said, the pitch is the distance between these two parts here, okay, all the way around. So let's change that then to 20 and see what happens. And you can see there that we've got 1, 2.5. Okay, so if I change that now to 10, you can see there that I've got more of that. Now that's you doing the pitch and height. So the height of this from here to here is always going to be the same. The only thing that's changing is the pitch, which is this distance between here and here. If I change that now to pitch and revolution, I can say it's a pitch of 10 and I want it to have, say I want it to have 8 revolutions. So you can see there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 revolutions. Either is absolutely fine. In an exam or in a question, they might you can count how many revolutions there are, or it might simply just tell you how many there are. If you look at this though, it says pitch of 10 and revolution of 8. That means that the pitch, that means that the height of it is going to be 80. So if I change that back to, let's change it back to pitch and height. So leave it at 10 and change it to 80, we'll get the same result as the previous one. So when I click OK, you get your helix there, which is almost like a spring. Like everything else that we do, you're not limited by one shape. If I change this to a square, for example, so I can change to 2 point, let's make it 5 by 5, and we'll set the same distance between here and here, 40, and we'll do that. So you can see there it does the exact same thing. Okay, so that's how you create a helix on Inventor. Thank you.